Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 10 American cruiser, Des Moines. She has 50,600 health, a top speed of 33 knots, 9 203mm guns, 12 secondary guns, a surface detect of 11.8 kilometers, and 93 AA defense rating. For my modules, reduced crit chance on main armament, improved aiming accuracy, improved range, reduced the chance of flood and fire, improved acceleration, and better steering. For my commander, basic firing training, basic survivability, expert marksman, superintendent, demolition expert, and concealment. We are on the map Islands of Ice, and this is 0.5.12. What has changed? Nothing to the ship's statistical data. The only thing that's changed is you now have a third option between target acquisition, concealment, and steering modification 3. Steering modification 3 speeds up the rudder shift and speeds up the repair time for your steering module if it gets knocked out. Now, I have elected to head towards the C point right off the bat. I felt like a BC strategy might be in our best interest, and that's where I'm headed off. Now, we have a couple friendlies over by C already trying to capture it, and I'm working my way over there. I have sacrificed concealment in order to pick up this steering module. It is only available to destroyers and cruisers tier 8 and above. Battleships cannot get it. Aircraft carriers cannot get it. I mean, why would you get it in an aircraft carrier? But I'm just trying to tell you exactly what it is. And notice what my team is doing. A significant majority is sitting right at that island position just north of B, south of A. They're trying to manipulate how many targets can see them so they can obviously blow them up. But if everyone is within that tiny area of the map, we're probably going to lose this game. So I'm not very excited. I fired AP right off the bat. Meant to fire HE. I want to burn down the Amagi. So we watch it go. I didn't lead him correctly. He's actually moving pretty quickly towards me, so I depressed the gun in response to that first shot. And I'm just trying to watch it and get an idea of how my lead's going. Okay, 2 fires on the first salvo. Oh, that's pretty awesome. Why isn't he putting out the fires, though? Amagi? It's 2 fires. There's no way you've already been set on fire and certainly not been flooded out. So, yeah, what are you doing, dude? He's got 3 fires on. Okay, surely he's going to put it out. Stop calling me Shirley. Amagi? Okay, whatever. We're gonna keep firing on him. Keep unloading the HE. It is so effective against ships of this type. They're just so big. They can't get out of the way. And now he's gonna take torpedoes. 2 big torpedoes. He's gonna be behind the island. We're gonna burn him down a little bit. And probably not going to get the kill. Are we going to get the kill? He dies to a dot. He dies to the Tashkent's torpedoes. Okay. So notice the position I'm in. I'm basically doing what the guys over by B and A were doing, only I have island systems to work on C point. And an enemy Moskva shows up, showing a perfect broadside, so I unload HE and I switch to AP. Now I think I, elevate the gun just a little bit too much. So we'll compensate for that this next shot. The island is in the way. But honestly, the steering module makes it so easy to respond. It's one of those things. The US cruiser line was always dominant with their rudder response time, and it's even more evident. Now you do have to take advantage of that and be responsive, but it's available. So the target is broad. Need to lead the target just a little bit more. And I sort of draw back, trying to get a good... Oh, nice. 14,000. 2 citadels. If he's not going to change his angling, he's dead. He's absolutely dead. We get another citadel, finishing off the target. First kill for me in the game, and hopefully many to come. And initially I engage the enemy Atago, but of course the gearing's in the way, and I'm not going to ignore the gearing. I know how powerful he is, so I switch to HE, fire on the enemy. I'm getting return fire, I believe, either from the Hindenburg or the Atago. I think the New Orleans actually might be the one who fired on me. There's a lot of targets over here, and just not enough time to engage them all, so you have to be careful. I feel like the gearing is a huge threat as long as it survives. If I take the gearing out, the team should be healthier. The last shot does 4 on the ship and sets them on fire. We lose the friendly Zhao, unfortunately, a little bit too aggressive. I noticed he's showing a lot of sides, so I'm going with AP, but then we gotta go back to HE. He's gonna hide himself. He's gonna angle away. And now, nothing is detected. Smoke is blocking everything else. Friendly gearing is way too low to risk his ship. I wouldn't expect him to. Any chance I get, I'm going to engage a target that shows himself. I mean, why not, right? 3,000, 1 fire. I'm not sure. He might have been set on fire before. And he's not alone over there. Yes, indeed. Enemy New Orleans is pushing the flank. I have AP. He's not quite soft enough that I could penetrate with AP. HE's going to work out better here. And he can always decide to make it even more angled. But HE's not doing too bad, right? The rate of fire is extreme. The turn speed of the rudder is really nice. Everything works really well. And I just can't be happier with the steering mod in this particular battle. It's just so nice to command so quickly your rudder. It feels like you're in a destroyer. Now you have to play it like that. You can't just absorb damage. And I read the New Orleans as showing a side. I preemptively switched to AP. This should do a lot of damage if we hit him. Nice. Citadel, 7,600. Oh, look at that accuracy. He's dead if the friendly doesn't kill him. Yeah, there we go. New Orleans taken out. Probably would have done more damage if there was more damage to do. Switch to the Hindenburg. We still have the gearing, and we still have the enemy Atago in the area. But my team somehow has dominated A and is pushing down on any remnants over by B point. But this has been a great fight for the south side of the map. It was pretty even, I would say. What was it? 1 destroyer, 2 cruisers, and a battleship against 3 cruisers, 2 destroyers, and no battleship. So it's a pretty fair engagement between the two sides. It's all about manipulating the islands, angling, using AP in the right scenario. And I felt like I did a pretty good job in this fight using AP. The enemy is capturing C, and there is nobody visible. So that is the gearing. Friendly North Carolina is moving forward, and I want to try and catch up to him to protect him from the gearing. And you notice my cursor on the minimap. I was telling the stream that I felt like the obvious location for the enemy destroyer is somewhere outside of my ship detectability. And clearly we are now within range. At the most, the gearing is 11.8 kilometers away. I, however, have to get a little bit closer in order for radar to be useful. It's about 9.9 kilometers, 9.5 for the US. So as I move forward, my objective is simple. Protect the North Carolina from the gearing. The North Carolina is going to be able to do massive damage to these cruisers if it's allowed to survive. And I have decided, maybe ignorantly, that I was really hoping that the gearing would show up without having to use radar. And the second I fire, of course, he's right there on top of my friendly. I immediately switch to him. The rate of fire is fantastic. We have HE loaded. Everything is perfect. We just have to work on this target. I only have my front guns, but that's not really a big deal. They do plenty of damage against an enemy destroyer, and we are just melting him. He's dead. He sends out his torpedoes. Come on, North Carolina. Avoid, avoid, survive. Enemy Atago is there. Oh, North Carolina takes a big shot. I have AP loaded already. It's almost like I could see the future, right? That's what you need to be able to do. Nice. We knock out his engine. 8,000. And I'm getting a little bit too close to the island. I'm trying to back up. Oh, got to depress the gun. Remember, Notser, he's coming towards you at an angle. So you want to depress in advance. And we get 5,000, but no Citadel. He's still alive. He also sent his torpedoes. Thankfully, the North Carolina is able to avoid it. And I'm just trying to get around the island so I can kill one of these targets. We are within, or very close to, the German torpedo range, and the German's going to have AP loaded. Yep, here it is. We're going to take probably the most damage we take. 6k, not bad. He's also broadside, so I just want to get the Citadel. We do 9,000. No Citadel. Earn Confederate. And now he's in a position where AP is going to be less effective. And I'm hoping that he'll over-rotate. Ooh, he did a great shot on us. Big Citadel. He does over-rotate, probably sending all his torpedoes. And I am just trying to take him out as quickly as I possibly can. We've lost the North Carolina. I'm alone over here. Gotta clean this up quickly, and boy, the rudder is so nice. I probably would have run into at least 2 islands this game without the steering column. It's just more responsive. Now, he's not giving me a lot of room to fire AP. I decided to switch to HE, but I sort of want him to assume that HE is loaded, and then he will make himself more vulnerable to AP, but he's never doing it. He's never doing it. Okay, a little breather. It's only this enemy cruiser and an enemy battleship. Somehow, the enemy Atago died, either to friendlies in the north or some last shot from the North Carolina. We should expect torpedoes, so I use hydroacoustic preemptively, and it actually detects the Hindenburg, and I'm in a position where this might be a bad scenario, so I have to rotate quickly to limit it, and we have AP loaded. He just killed himself. Showed too much of his side. We took him out. We're able to avoid all but one. Here comes the next set, and we're going to be good. And somehow, he didn't set a flood on the target. We avoided the flood. I don't know how we did it, but we did it. And just a bonus, damage control is up right now. We would not have died even if the flood would have occurred. I just thought it was interesting. So basically the entire fight for C went as well as it possibly could. We could not have asked for better opportunities to limit the number of targets that could engage us, allow the maneuverability to really shine, AP on the broadside, HE on targets that aren't showing their side. It really worked out splendid. The only thing I regret is allowing some of my teammates to die when they didn't, but sometimes you have a teammate that just doesn't understand how to survive, what you need to look for. I would say most players don't actively use islands to their advantage, and that's unfortunate. The only time I see players using islands to their advantage, the majority, is if they're trying to be stationary. Treat it like a rock in World of Tanks or something weird like that. You can actively use the island to block angles to your enemy. I do that all the time, and it is a skill that needs to be worked on and mastered in order to limit the number of targets. Fight on your own terms. This enemy, Amagi, he is unfortunately not using the upgraded hull, probably using an A hull, and he died, which is probably because he's not using the upgraded hull. You gotta make those Japanese battleships look beautiful. Don't rock those stock hulls. I know you're working through it, and hopefully he gets there and has success, much more success than this game, but I could not ask for more. Confederate, 4 kills, 5 citadels, over 155,000 puts of damage done, 500,000 credits earned, and, oh boy, base XP, 2,673 base XP, just a huge carry. And I was like, what? 1 XP in 5? What's the deal there? Were these guys AFK? Did they not do anything the game? How did they earn 1 or 5? I don't know how you earn 1 and 5. That's such a random number. Either it's 0 or you're actually participating in the battle. And yeah, it was just a great experience in the South. I enjoyed every minute of it. Hopefully you did too. As far as damage is concerned, it's pretty evenly spread. AP and HE. I feel very good about my target selection and my ammo selection during that 20,000 in fires. It's because that Amagi, he refused to put out the fire. I don't know why. As far as the economy goes, well, it worked out in our favor. Premium and non-premium would have made credits back. I'm very happy. It aligns with my playstyle, aggressiveness. I hope you enjoyed seeing the Des Moines on Islands of Ice. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.